Welcome back. You may find it somewhat extraordinary with a country with such vast wealth and reserves. Saudi Arabia is in the midst of a youth unemployment crisis. There are so many young people and quite simply not enough jobs. Fixing the problem is a top priority for the new Saudi leadership. Saudi Arabia is a country blessed with both an abundance of oil and a young workforce. Their economic future, however, is in doubt as their country's jobs prospects dim. 70% of the population is under 30, and a third of them can't find work. For decades, Saudi leaders relied on their country's vast energy reserves to fuel growth. Oil, however, is creating nowhere near the number of jobs the economy needs right now. And youth unemployment has risen to more than 30%, at the same time as the youth population is surging. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, a 32-year-old millennial himself, has devised a way forward. His much-touted roadmap is called Vision 2030. It's an attempt to wean the kingdom away from energy and create new opportunities for tech startups and growth industries. The heir to the Saudi throne needs outside cash to make his vision work. Last month, he courted global investors at a lavish forum in Riyadh. Loosening Saudi's strict social rules could help get the money flowing. Saudi women will finally be given the right to drive next year. Bin Salman knows there's an urgent need to modernize for the sake of future generations. Now, the Crown Prince must deliver. So much change, and while Saudi society is changing fast, there's still some pretty basic things that citizens can't do that you and I might enjoy. Movie theatres have been banned here since the 1980s, shut down under pressure from religious leaders. If the ban is lifted, theatre chain, for example, AMC, the largest in the world, could stand to profit. Its chief executive told me the culture change here is almost beyond belief.
Back in the United States right now, we have no conception of how quickly the society in Saudi Arabia is changing. Under the leadership of the new Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman, they are moderating this country, they are liberalizing this country, they are changing this country. I've been told that there's been more change in the last 6 months than they've seen in the last 20 years.
That, in of itself, to some will be impressive, to others will be a warning that change might be happening too quickly. Which do you see?
Well, I think there's always a risk when change happens. People need to accommodate change. That's not so easy. Yeah. We see in every country that sometimes people resist change. But there's something unusual in Saudi Arabia. Fully half of their population now is under 25 years of age. The Crown Prince himself is 32. I think they're thirsting for this liberalization in the country. I think they're very excited about it.
So what will you be offering? Or what do, I mean, I realize you've got your plans, but what sort of vision have you got for what you could do here?
Well, this is our first official trip to Saudi Arabia. We've been in contact with the government previously. AMC is the largest movie theater chain in the world, with more than 1,000 theaters in the US and Europe. We have a close eye on Saudi Arabia. Movie theaters were actually banned in this country more than 35 years ago, but there is a lot of talk that that ban is going to be lifted and that the government is quite eager to open cinemas here in Saudi.
Yeah, but you see, you've just made the great point. You're going from a ban to actually having something here. It's not as if there's a few here already that you've just got to grow on top of. There's a ban that you've got to grow on top of.
Well, from our standpoint, that's good news. This is a country of 30 million people. They like movies. If you look at the moviegoers in Dubai and Bahrain, there are a lot of Saudis going to theaters there. What we see is there is potentially an enormous market here for moviegoing domestically by Saudi citizens here in Saudi Arabia.